They say you learn things best the hard way. But what nobody tells you about this hard way is that it comes with no crash mats or warning signs. Rather, it comes with a deep, humble silence. It's kind of like when you click on I accept terms and conditions without actually reading them. And before you know it, you just sign yourself up for a mountain expedition. My name is Sanvi Kurade, and in 2022, I was part of an expedition to Island Peak, or Imjatesu, a 610-kilometer mountain in Sagarmatha National Park in Nepal. I was only 12 years old at the time, and that time I was so convinced I had the ultimate secret weapon to my advantage, my phone. The one I had gotten a week prior to my expedition, and the same one I traded my Nokia brick phone for a week earlier as well. Now, when you think about mountaineering as a concept, you might think of hard, grueling work or climbing the mountain to the summit, but it is so much more than that. In mountaineering, there is a fundamental concept of spatial awareness, something that you learn within while climbing it. Now, when I reached for the first time, the 3 days into my trek, I had reached a fork with a fellow climber. To the left side the path went down the valley to the Dudh Koshi River, and to the right, the route climbed up to the next mountain. I did not know what I was at that place, but in that moment, do you really find out how tiny you are? In that moment, I took out my phone, my secret weapon, and turned it on. The only thing I saw that time was a tiny red sliver. 5% battery, no signal. In that moment, I felt as if my digital bridge between me and the rest of the world had like that snapped. I did not feel like an explorer per se, rather a visitor who just overstayed her welcome. But luckily found our way and we got to the base camp. Now, after days and days of climbing within the range, we did reach base camp, as you can see behind. Over there, the moment you stepped into base camp, you could see Island Peak pointing into the fog. It was so beautiful. The moment, it felt so surreal after months and months of researching from it. But that time, the wind did not just blow. It was trying to rip through everything in its sight. My expedition leader looked up at the sky and then back at me. It's time to go down. The mountain is telling us to leave. For another time, I felt an even tighter snap. Not only had the technology that I had used previously, a few days ago, lost my trust, but now the mountains itself were telling me to go. I felt so helpless. But that time, going back the valley might have been the biggest and most beautiful walks of shame I ever went through. Every step I took, I'd look behind me and see as Island Peak slowly disappeared into the past. Now, as I reflect back on myself 4 years later, I see that even though with the heart and the legs, the mountain is a sovereign place. It chooses who it wants, no matter how much you try to fight it. But then, that got me thinking, if the mountain only chooses those who are ready to fight to climb it, what about everyone else? What about the community? It should be something for everyone, not just a select few. And that's when I decided and I thought, what about me creating a digital Everest? Now, you might think of Sanvi, a digital Everest. What about a digital Island Peak? You didn't even climb Everest. But that's a good point. But here, Everest is not just a mountain. It's a promise. To the Nepali people, Everest is called Sagarmatha, the goddess of the sky. It is a promise to the people that the technology will be used to climb the summit. It is a promise to the community. So I decided to climb it. I decided to build it. Now, I started off with GIS data, the flat map. But at first glance, what's exciting about this What can you climb in this possibly? So I started to sculpt it in a 3D modeling software, matching the shades to the exact color of ground I walked on, and matching the textures to the exact same rocks I touched. I got my digital Everest. But again, you may think, Sanvi, why even build this in the first place? Come on, you can watch a nature documentary on Netflix, or even see high-resolution photos on Instagram. But let me tell you this. There is a big difference between what we call observing and what we see as experiencing. If you watch a screen, or in this case, a mountaineering documentary, you are a spectator. You are safe, and you are in the comfort of yourself. But what I'm not trying to do is show you what the mountains look like. Rather, I want you to feel the gravity of being in the mountains and feeling that same gulp that I felt years ago. So, after 30 hours of rendering my little mountain, I got my final result. But the moment I turned on my VR headset and I sat in the comfort of my own room, it didn't feel real. But for just one moment, I felt that exact same awe I had felt when I was in the mountain. I felt for one moment that I was alive. But again, it's VR, it's not the same. But if this was able to do something for me, someone who has already been there to the mountain, think what this could do for someone who has never been there to the mountain. Think about the people who will never be able to afford a plane ticket to Lukla, or the people who will never be able to get past that expedition cancel sign, or even think about the people who are in the wheelchairs, who dream of the high ridge. This is for them and everybody else. The magic of mountaineering should not be locked in the gates of financial and physical ability. And this is why I created my little heaven of Mount Everest. Now, I would like to ask you one question before I end this. Why do you do what you do? You might be someone into computer science, or you might be someone into medicine, but why do you do what you do? For me, I do it because I want to do it for everyone else. In a small village, from one of my memories in Kumjung village, in my Sherpa's home, I remember this one instant till this date. In his home library, there was a book on George Mallory, one of the first few climbers to climb Everest. When he was asked, why climb Everest? He said, because it's there. But being there should not be a privilege to just a few. And that's why I wanted to make it for everyone. So now, when people ask me, Sanvi, why build something to bridge technology to the community? Because it should be there for everyone. Thank you.